and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I'm working on Dynamic Floral, which looks completely different when you hold it up compared to on an angle. I've only been working on this one on a WIP Chat so far. When I've finished Cosmic, I may or may not do some more. But anyway, so far you've been able to see everything that I've done. So I thought, let's get some more of it done. And I'm actually using a white tray today. I feel like it's been a long while since I've used a white tray. I end up, as much as I have many colours to choose from, I often pick a new one for a painting, but then sometimes I'll just completely forget to pick a new one and I end up just using the same ones, especially when we have a new release. I tend to find they tend to be the ones I gravitate towards. But anyway, I have been messing with some storage samples for trays. And we seem to have found the one that is going to work. We just need to see if the wholesale pricing is going to be able to work. But yeah, and then I need to find somewhere to store the storage because I've got the trays in them. I've just got the one. We got a few different samples to try, but I've just got the one that is the right one, and I just need a few more to put all my trays in. I converted them into rainbow order the other day, and looks beautiful. Looks absolutely beautiful. But while I was doing that, I realised that I haven't used a white tray for a while. So I thought, why not crack out the white tray, especially for these rhinestones. I'm actually finding it's working really quite well for these. Some of these darker ones can be a little bit hard to see what the true colour is. And this white tray is definitely helping with that. We have done a couple of different whites in the past. We did used to have a white that was more of an off-white, a bit more like a 3865. If we're talking DMC numbers, but the tray we do now is more of a 5200 white. So it's a nice true white and really helps pretty much every colour apart from white pop. But yeah, that's what we've been up to this week, is mainly that, and it was launch last weekend. Seemed to work very well having double the stock. We had double the stock we normally do, and that is our plan for months going forward. So we did find that stock managed to last a couple of days, which is quite good considering some countries had their clocks change, whereas our clock hasn't changed yet. It actually changes, is it this weekend or next weekend? It might even be this weekend. I actually can't remember. I'm filming this on the Saturday. I get so used to now my phone just changing the time for me. But yeah, our clocks change this weekend or next weekend. And yeah, everything will all change again for next month's launch. But it seemed to really help the fact that the clocks had changed. People didn't completely miss out if they went onto the shop at the wrong time, because we had more stock. So that was good. It did take me longer to pack orders though than I thought. I did it all on Sunday and on Monday, and still had a few that carried over to Tuesday. But I suppose that's the way of the world. I also feel like comments, there's been a lot more comments this week, which is great. I love it. But I do feel like there's a lot of comments for me to get through. which is good because it always gives me stuff to chat about. But I hope everybody has had a good and productive week. I've had a bit of a chasing my tail week, but that's quite often the case after launch. I feel like it takes a little bit to sort of catch up with all the other background stuff as we go along. But I did nip out with Megan last night and got some storage bits for our new cupboards, which if you saw the shop tour that I posted last week, we got new cupboards for storing sort of excess stock, and I got a few more storage tub bits for inside of that, and it always makes me happy. I just need to get out my clear Dymo label maker now, I think, and label up some of the white tubs that are in the shop room and some of the tubs that are in the shop shelves, etc., just to make it a little bit easier for me to be able to tell what is in everything and what I've got. And yeah, I've got a busy week ahead of me next week. I've had quite a few restocks of some items turn up that need me to do something off the back of it. That diamond is not the right shape. It wasn't sitting right, and I've just dropped it. So let me get that in my trashy tray. Yeah, quite a few new bits to work on, and also some Advent bits to work on. We also had a mini drama. I say a mini drama. The replacement wax tips that we put up in the shop last launch weekend. Actually turns out they don't fit in the pens that we sell. They actually fit in a different style of pen. So that was entertaining, sorting that out. But we have sorted that out with customers that purchase the replacement tips. And I think we have managed to source from an alternative supplier the right tips to fit those pens. So hopefully they will be coming in the next few months once that order gets finalised. I'm doing a lot of double checking that they're the right size, and we can get them on the way to us. So at least you will be able to get replacement tips for those pens. But yeah, all fun, all fun. Excuse me. So on to comments and questions. Oh, actually, I can tell when diamonds aren't quite the right colour on this a little bit better as well. In this tray, there's a couple that just seem a little bit darker, and this tray helps me to figure them out so I can ditch them. Maybe that'll help the overall look. All Things Crafty by Kaz, she says, Happy Mother's Day to you. It was Mother's Day in the UK last weekend. So thank you very much. I did get some new nail polish and thing colours off the kids and some gorgeous flowers. They're always stuck as to what to get me. For birthdays, Christmas, etc. So I did pop a few new nail colours that I quite liked their way. I'm not sure if it's a bit bright. I'm not sure if it helps that that nail is really, really short, so it never quite looks the same. But yeah, they got me some new nail polish. Kaz says she loves this diamond painting. So this is a comment on Cosmic Trip. She said she is currently doing the People's Princess while she's recuperating from a bad chest infection as well as a cold on top of that. Oh no. They often tend to come together, a chest infection and a cold. Just to, you know, make you feel rotten for a little bit longer before you start to feel better. hopefully, it's been a week now, hopefully you are feeling a lot better than you were, and things are on the up, at least, hopefully. Darcy says she's bitten the bullet and she's ordered 3 of the paint gem sets. It's hard not to. It really is hard not to. I get so excited when there's new ones. You'll have seen yesterday's video. I de-kitted another paint gem mini set, and it's ridiculous how excited I get that I will be able to kit up a new one soon, in the next week or 2. I get so excited when I empty one of those storage containers. I'm like, okay, I can fill it up with another paint gem now. I'm always excited as to which one. I haven't started my Christmas ones yet. However, I know what I'm like. I sort of forget that they're there, and then I end up doing one a day for about a week. And then I forget that they're there again for a little bit, and then out they come again. It's like this little roller coaster of doing them loads and then not doing any. So it'll be good to get some of those done, because I've got ABs to go with my Christmas lot. I got some AB diamonds when I kitted that one up so that I can mix those in. Okay, this is the 818, the very pale pink. I'm not sure if that's actually easier to see in the white tray or not. It's definitely not the same as just the plain silver ones, but there's only a touch of colour in these. I'm trying to squeeze. They're quite a tight fit, and that one needed a bit more of a push and a shove to get in. That one's not good quality. Kathy also says Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Cat Lady, she says she has been working on her Heaven and Earth design. She's now past 25%. She did work on a round partial painting to sort of get her back into diamond painting, because she's not been able to do it for a month due to being away. So she sort of got herself back into it for a bit. She also says that she's managed to put her washing out this morning. She much prefers to put bedding on the line. I agree. Bedding dried on the line. If you can get it off in the morning, washed on the line and back on the bed, oh, it's the best thing ever. It just smells so good. So much nicer to be able to do that. I can't wait. I haven't quite got to the point I've been able to put washing on the line yet. There has been a couple of times when I've thought, oh, maybe I can. But I've found the past few days that it's been really nice in the morning. It's then turned a bit in the afternoon. So I've always had the intention of potentially putting the washing on the line, but it never quite happens because it just goes funny by the afternoon when I'm ready to put it out. But spring will be here. Spring is on its way. It's just very slowly getting up this year. It doesn't seem to want to move very quickly. So I guess we just all have to wait a little bit longer. Diamond Sparkle Chase also says Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Oh, Tanaya, she says, oh, hang on, it didn't load up the comment fully and properly. So let me just refresh my page and find that comment again. But Tanaya, she says she finds that she owes somebody here an apology. She said it was mentioned, the person mentioned using tweezers when doing square diamonds, and she thought, in all honesty, she thought she was nuts. She said, guess what? She said she's not. She's not nuts. She says for squares, the tweezers, she says the good tweezers, that is, she said are just as fast as single placing with the pen. She said are much easier to get the silly things semi-straight. She says, as for your whip and waffles, she says the voice she has my voice in the background as sound most of the time. She says no matter what she's doing. She says for some reason, she says her damaged mind finds my voice restful, bringing a little bit of peace to her brain. Sorry, can't speak. In mid panic attack, she says almost all of the time. She says, so thank you so much for your videos, and you have saved me so many meds, she says. Oh, I'm so happy that I can help, even if it's, just to help calm you down in amidst whatever it is that you're doing. I'm glad that I can help in some little way. It's things like that keep me going. With YouTube is one of the most time consuming things, even though I do spend probably more time on the shop and the business and the preparation for things we've got coming up. YouTube does seem to take a lot of the time for the output that it is, but I love doing it, and it's comments like that make me keep doing it, and trying to find different ways to still do as much, have as many videos out and do as much as I do, but in a way that makes it easier for me than the thought of cutting down videos to make it easier. I'm constantly trying to rejig the way my days are planned, just trying to ease up YouTube but keep as many videos out as possible, because it is extremely time consuming. But say it's comments like that make it all worth it, all worth continuing to do. And I'm slowly but surely finding the happy sort of medium way of making YouTube work. I do need to spend more time on some other aspects of YouTube and finding and thinking of some sort of different video things to sneak in with everything else. But at the moment, while I'm managing my time, it's sticking as a lot of de-kittings, kittings up, things like that. And of course my WIP chats. I absolutely love doing the WIP chats. They might be the longest, but there's nowhere near as much pre-preparation with the WIP chats. So it's one of those. It can be the lesser of two evils. But yeah, right. Let me find letter P for Peter. Where are you? There you are. Pale yellow. I think I might be moving quite a bit further over. I wasn't sure how much to uncover for today's, but I think I'll be uncovering another big section in a minute. Maybe once I've done this bit and I can move the whole thing over a bit. Try and save me messing with these pots too much, because this, I think, was the line I had last time when I've done that little P. This was the original line that I was doing on the last WIP chat. So I uncovered a little bit, but I don't think I've uncovered enough. So in fact, let's take that piece off, because I can scoot over quite a bit more now. and actually that will allow me to do this bottom strip of this colour. I probably could have done quite a bit of the last couple of colours as well, but so you never quite know how much you're going to be able to do. I do like to have a look under here as well and see if there is a good point to cut it off, and I think it's actually there in relation to that letter X and that big section. The best cut off is there, which is just a couple of rows over. In fact, you can't even see that. Let me move over. I'm going to cut it off there. So let's see how this works. Right, back at it. Jennifer, she says those diamonds on Cosmic Trip are lining up like a perfection. She says one of the first things she noticed in the video, she said she is doing a Diamond Art Club square right now. She says, and it is awful with the squares, but it is older. Yeah, when I've got the light pad on, in fact, when I put the light pad on my Cosmic Trip after doing a section as a WIP and Chats, because I don't have the light pad on underneath when I'm doing a WIP and Chat, but I do have it on when I'm working in the conservatory, I actually find that my squares aren't as straight on Cosmic Trip when I just use the overhead light as they are when I have the light pad on. They both look completely fine when the light pad is off and you're looking at it from normal distance. You can't tell any difference, but I can always tell the sections that I've done on a WIP and Chat compared to those that I haven't and I've used the light pad for. It's very weird. But there is a couple of colours that aren't that nice to place, but the other colours all being nice to place sort of outweighs it. It evens it all up, if that makes sense, and makes it a lot better. But yeah, they are the best Diamond Art Club diamonds that I have worked with, ignoring the number 823. They are really good. The first square diamond painting I ever did from Diamond Art Club was a huge disappointment, but their rounds, I've really enjoyed their rounds, so I'm guessing squares is just the harder thing to get exactly right. Mysterious Days, she says, hello, happy Mother's Day. This is another one where the comments cut off. I don't like it when YouTube do this because I have to scroll down through all the comments to be able to read it properly. And it just wastes time that I don't need to be wasting. And it's done it again. Sorry about this. Let me just... My arm's waving because my other arm is scrolling down. Oh, there we go. It's letting me read it all now, I think. So Mysterious Days, here we go. She says, hello, happy Mother's Day. She says she is a first-time commenter. She says, and often have you, she says, or another one of my few diamond painting YouTubers in the background as background noise while she works on hers. So a lot of people that do that. And that's why I like the fact that it's like a mini conversation when you have it on in the background. She says, also, she says, do excuse the long comments. Perfectly fine with the long comments. We welcome them long and short. She says she's currently working on the Horror, the Need mystery kit by Diamond. She's working on Ladybug on Sunflower by Diamond Art Club as a birthday gift for an elderly woman who lives with her. She says she's got one square and one round. She said it's a great way to switch off for her sanity. Yes, it's a reason I think a lot of us do it. It's just that little bit of downtime, but not downtime. We get to do something we enjoy, but we do get to switch off a bit as well, which is always required. Right, I'm just going to change my diamonds. Okay, let's get this number 6. I'm going back down here. I'm going to do some of these darker ones. I think I'm just going to work through the colours bit by bit, but this one is quite a bit darker. So she also said one round, one square. She says even if she only has until the 27th of March to finish the birthday gift, she says, but she can't do it when she's around, so she can't do it around her. She said, so it is definitely a grind. That is the internal pressure, the pressure that you're putting on yourself for it. Whereas you could, if it came to it, if you find that the pressure's too much, you can always show her where you're up to on her birthday as the birthday gift, and let her see you finish it off and see the rest of it come to life. And I'm sure that will be as enjoyed as the gift finished if you don't get to it. She says especially because her cat Bella decides to curl up in her lap with her legs cross-legged and makes her stretch over her, which then makes her lower back and hips absolutely kill. She says she loves her though. Sounds like Luna when she decides she wants snuggles and she doesn't care whether you are on your laptop or diamond painting or anything. She just decides my head is going here, like it. And if not, I will just keep wriggling until I get comfy, whether you're comfy or not. Gotta love them. She says the mystery kit, the Diamond Art Club mystery kit that she's doing, she said it is a lot of fun. It's her first mystery kit, she said, and despite not knowing the artist, she said she looked at his other works and loved them. And that's what I've not found. The odd times I've looked, like I've not looked at the ones that have come in and disappeared really quick. But when I'm shopping on the website anyway, when I've looked at the mystery ones, I've not been in love with the other artwork that they've had. I've liked some of them, but I've not liked all of them or the majority of them, which meant I couldn't warrant buying a full mystery kit. So that's sort of the reason that I've held off getting a mystery kit. It's not a never, but I have enough paintings in my stash. As many of you may know, I have plenty to keep me going at the moment, that's for sure. She said some of his other paintings are actually on her wish list. She said it is just a ride, she says, to do something that is coming to life before your eyes. She said, and the guessing was definitely fun. Though she has figured out what the picture is, she said, but she won't share it due to spoilers. She says, if there's another mystery kit theme or artist that catches her eye, she said she will definitely do it again. Yeah, I just need to find the right one, I think, especially as a first one. And the main reason is the cost. It's the main reason I want it to be what I think is the right one before I start, because they're not cheap. They're not cheap in the fact that the conversion to UK is a little bit dearer, because that's how they absorb some of the kit costs, some of the shipping costs, is it's a little bit, the paintings cost a little bit more for us. It's like some of the cost, I think they explained it, like some of the cost is in the price of the painting that we pay. And then, of course, if you buy enough of them, then you get free shipping. If you don't, then you pay something towards the shipping. Which I get why they do it. I don't think a company should miss out. But it does make it dearer, which means I want to be sure, or as sure as I can be, before I look at buying one. So maybe I'll get one in the future, and we'll see. I do have my Heaven and Earth Design black canvas, black and white symbols, which, while I know what the picture is, it will give me the feel of doing a mystery style painting on a big scale. I've done a few small ones, but it would be nice to do a big one and see if I enjoy it, and then maybe get one in the future. And if I really enjoy it, then I would get it for the process more than I'd get it for the image at the end. Maybe I need to think that way. Maybe I need to get it for the process of doing one rather than for the image, but time will tell. She says, on Dynamic Floral, she says, why don't you write down the symbols that you need to do first, and keep that sheet of paper, she said, with the kit, so that you don't have to find out every time. She says it sounds like a time saver. She says she's also loving Cosmic, and she wants to get it for herself due to her love of astronomy. Yeah, I mean, with this Dynamic Floral, it's not, I mean, there is an order that can make it a little bit easier, but it's not a set in stone order. What I tend to find is the symbols with the white letters rather than the black letters. So the white symbols on the colour tend to be the darker colours, and those with the black symbol tend to be the lighter colours. And it's actually those with the white symbols that are harder to see as I go along the painting. And those with the black symbol, that's the lighter colours, tend to be easier to see. So that's what I was doing on the last lot, is I was doing all those with the white symbols first, and then doing the black symbols second. So I can still sort of follow what's a logical pattern. But that's why I don't write it down. If it was in a definite particular order, you know, whichever order that may be, then yeah, that would well be worth it. But yeah, for now, it tends to be, I tend to be focusing a lot on the symbols that are white based, and then move on to the symbols that are black based. Tends to help. Sue, she says, dogs are like young children. Yes, Luna's definitely a toddler. She says, wanting mummy cuddles when they're poorly. Yeah. Sometimes I'm great at getting a load of admin done when she's not too well. It's like, okay, let's have an admin day then. What are those things on my list that I've been meaning to do for ages? And then I can sit down and she can get the toddler cuddles, as I call them, and I can still be productive. And then some days I do admin because I need to sit down, and it's got nothing to do with Luna, but she loves those days because she then gets to sit down as well. Admin day. My admin day, I have one a week, which is a primary admin day. And then occasionally I may have to throw in some more depending on what's going on. But, you know, I still do my Heaven and Earth design, do my orders, things like that. But then I do all the admin things like, you know, the books and other things that need emailing, and, you know, suppliers and ordering and all that sort of computer-based stuff I tend to all do on one day. And yeah, she loves it. She absolutely loves it when I have an admin day. And yeah, some days I have an admin day just because I need to sit down for the day. So at least I can be productive in a different way. Sue says, she said her dogs have come running to her if they've hurt themselves, or if one of them has got scared. She says she loves it. She said Cosmic is looking so good. She says she does think that it is one of Diamond Art Club's best kits. Yes, I agree with that. I was trying to think. The other one, Mother Earth. Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed doing that one. But I don't think that's one that I ever was like, I'm going to do this one and then I'm going to put it up here. You know, I did it purely for the enjoyment, not for where it was going to go afterwards. So yeah, I think Cosmic is probably my favourite kit ever from Diamond Art Club, because it has the fun, it has the colours, it's actually a nice square painting to work on, and I have an idea of somewhere for it to go so I can enjoy it for even longer. So that's good. Mary Lynn said Happy Mother's Day to me. Thank you. Yeah, I did have a lovely day. Christine. Oh, sorry. Let me find my letter B, and then we shall see what Christine has to say. Still not major keen on these pots. They have their moments, but they're not my favourites. Christine says she was watching me use the pick-up pen, and she was wondering, she said, if I have trouble with residue from it. She says she does have some trouble, but it could be the Australian temperatures. She said even though they do have the aircon on. She says it might be better when they get cooler weather. She says she tries not to press too hard with the ABs. She says, but she may be the problem. I don't find that I get a load of residue. I can definitely get some. And I do find that I am more likely to get residue when I press down hard. In general, I'm not a hard presser of diamonds anyway. You'll often see me push down with my finger when I've finished a section. And that is me sort of setting the diamonds a bit more. I find the lighter I put the diamonds down, the easier they are to move if I need to. So maybe I've put one down and not realised it's got an air bubble. Or the other day, I did a batch of about 10 diamonds and then realised my brain had got ahead of myself. And I'd started thinking about the next symbol I wanted to do too much. And in turn, I was putting the diamond I was doing now on my next symbol and not on the symbol I was actually doing. Sometimes I lose track of where I'm up to. A little bit too easy. And I find if I put them down lighter, they are easier to move and to slide if I need to. So it could be the heat, it could be the pressure. I find while the pick-up pens are amazing at picking up ABs and not pulling off the AB coating, you do need to be rather gentle with them. Like sometimes when I'm placing these diamonds, I will put more pressure to maybe click the diamond into place in between a couple of diamonds, or I'll do it to nudge a diamond over that maybe I've put down a little bit slanted. I find you can't do that the same with the wax pen. One of the easiest way to stop yourself in effect trying to nudge it is I take off both ends of the pen, both caps, and then I flip it round and use the other end to nudge them into the place I want them. And I find that if I've got the caps off, I will do that more. If I leave the caps on, then I can't be bothered. And I will just push my luck and potentially end up with more residue. But if you've got the aircon on, I would probably say it's pressure. But there could be an element of the heat, just because the pen could very well have got warm when you were in the room without the aircon on. If you left the pen behind, it could have got warm in that time. Jelly says she has just snagged herself a lovely limited edition Zesty Tray. She says woohoo. She says, and a lovely pink rose pen too. Well, I hope you enjoy it. All launch orders are out. All limited editions have sold out. They did last the weekend, which was sort of at least our aim, that they would allow people that, you know, have forgotten, life's got away from them, that sort of stuff, that we would have enough stock to allow people to be forgetful, have a moment, be caught up in life, and not miss out completely. Though sometimes we never know, because the month before we did have the same quantity of the glitter tray. We actually made sure that we printed extra of the purple glitter tray, and that one flew out in a record time. So yeah, I don't suggest leaving it on purpose, but hopefully we've got enough that if accidents do happen and things are forgotten for a couple of days, a couple of hours, there's still time to get one. We shall see how the next few months go, because we've got some rather exciting colours coming, I must say. They're looking very pretty. I've just spotted a number 6 that I missed. I'm just trying to check all my number 8s first. And I'm going to go and get that number 6. Hopefully I can just dip into the pot. I can. Right, I'm going to do F, and this is because I have one here. So I want to get it before it gets surrounded by too much else. Sort of doing this dynamic floral in a way that I don't normally diamond paint. It throws me a little bit when I'm not doing it in a systematic order, but it's an order that works for this painting, so we shall continue and see how it goes. Lots of little ones down here. Beth, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she did some diamond painting while watching. She says she did have to stop though because she had a headache. She said, do you get headaches while diamond painting? No, I don't tend to get headaches while diamond painting. If you do, and it's just while you're diamond painting, all I can suggest is maybe get an eye test. Because if it's coming on due to what you're doing, rather than you're getting them periodically or occasionally, but whatever you're doing varies. If you're getting them because of what you're doing, then it could be that you're straining your eyes in some way. Whereas I'm short-sighted, so I actually don't wear my glasses when I diamond paint. I can wear them when I diamond paint, but I do need a new prescription. So if I wore them while I was diamond painting, I would possibly give myself a headache compared to not wearing them, where I can see things clearer, short distance, and then I'm fine. But eye test is on my list to do, because I know when I last got them done, I did need them changing ever so slightly the opposite way, because I'm getting old. But it wasn't worth doing at the time. It was only a small amount. But I've noticed as time goes on, it's got a little bit more and more, that when I've got my glasses on, I can't see short distance quite as well, i.e. looking at my phone or looking at diamond painting. So I think I need to get tested again and actually change my prescription this time. So that's all I can suggest. If you are getting headaches, it may well be that you are straining to look at the diamond painting a little bit more than you need to. So hopefully that will help you. Right, I've just checking I've got no more sort of stragglers of the letter F before I move into these bigger chunks of it. I can do some nice big blocks. Sarah, she says, for those that want glue dots for multi-placing, she says the glue dot brand do have something called glue dot lines, and it's a rectangular glue dot, so maybe that'll help. She says she rolls them up on the sheet and it's long enough to fit in a 10 placer with just one. When she uses it in a 4 placer, she cuts off what she doesn't need and sticks it back on like the wax paper roll for next time. So there you go. You can use a few dots and roll them up with your fingers, or you can buy some rectangle ones. Good to know. Thank you, Sarah. Betty said a happy Mother's Day. Thank you. And Kaz also says she ordered Dynamic Floral. So she's ordered this painting on the 26th of January. And she received it today, the 20th of March. Well, that took a little bit to get to you. Oh, then again, there was some Chinese New Year in that, wasn't there? Not all of it, but maybe that did affect it. KT is a company based in China, so maybe it was affected by Chinese New Year. But I'm glad you've got it now. I know you did ask me how long it took for mine to arrive, but I must say quite often unboxing things I do on unboxing videos for companies, I don't tend to track the time that much on those. Just because I can't do the video until it arrives, so I don't want to check when my workload's going to increase. I deal with unboxings when they arrive, and then, you know, look up when I need to unbox it for and pop it into my schedule accordingly. So I probably haven't followed its journey as much as potentially I could have done. But I'm glad you've got it. Natalie, she says she has a similar problem with her Diamond Art Club mystery kit. She says where the colours that have more of a quantity, so the higher number of diamonds, she says are very bad quality. She says which tends to be the browns and the darker colours, which are abundant. She says the other thing she has is quite a few of them are stuck together. She says it's so annoying. She says she did spend once an hour separating the diamonds, and by the time she was done, she didn't feel like diamond painting anymore. She says the picture itself, she said, is very nice. She wished she could say what it was, she says, but she doesn't want to spoil the fun if people are working on this kit. She said, other than that, have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, I'm just going to give this a refresh. Every time I have a couple of longer comments, which I love the longer comments, so don't think it is I don't post them at all. It can take a little bit for YouTube to catch up and show me them properly. I'm also trying to make sure, of course, that I miss the Heaven and Earth Design comments. Oh, Laurie is back. Laurie's comments often come with a little bit of humour. See, look, I'm putting that title on her now and watch it be a normal comment. But Laurie says, she knew that I would know a better name than Trashy, she says, for the adorable little tray, which is this one. It's on my little grip mat. She said she took a little survey of her guys and gals, and they decided that they wanted to be called Zest. So they've decided that they'd like to be called Zest rather than Trashy, and then they will be in the same ranking as the other trays. So we have an Add More Zest tray, a Zesty tray, and now we have Zest. Baby Zest. She says about Dreamer's Designs, she says, does she remember correctly that you bought one recently hoping that it would be a better canvas and symbols? She said she would like to hear my thoughts on them, as she recently threw out 2 of their canvases, and she's given away 3 of the others as she really, really dislikes them. She said she had put them aside for about a month or so, but then she decided that she wouldn't be completing them, so she needed to put away the diamonds. She said when she opened the bottles, she remembered why she disliked them as well, because there was also so much static. Yes, I did get 2 Dreamer Design canvases, 2 additional ones. Both of them, I feel, have the same issue with the canvas. They were better than my original one, but the symbols are harder to read with a light pad on than off, which is the issue I had with my first one, which is a shame because the images are absolutely stunning. The images and the ones that I got, I'm so excited to do. Somebody did mention that they were older canvases, so I don't know if they've had like 2 or 3 different canvases that they've done. But yeah, these were older ones. I don't know how, like I didn't hugely look, but I also wouldn't have known what to look for to know if it was their newer canvases or not. So yeah, my 2 were their older canvases. What I have found, the way I can work around it, and the only way I feel I can work around it, is I only work on them in summer, when I don't need my light pad on in the evening to diamond paint. that is when I will work on those. Otherwise, yeah, I just won't bother. I just won't bother. There is no point in me even thinking of working on them in winter, because it just won't work. So yeah, disappointing, but the images are gorgeous, and if I do it in the summer, it shouldn't be an issue. When I'm going to do them, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's something I'm going to push into the queue this summer, or whether I just wait until the decision wheel picks it. And if the decision wheel picks it in winter, I then do it the following spring. I just don't know, is the answer to that one. I'm just not quite sure. Right, I'm trying to have a look now. Like, I know the symbol L is one that I will need to do, but I'm just trying to work on some of the symbols around here. That's it, the number 9. It's tucked in with the symbol G. So I want to get those in before I do the letter G, because I don't want to lose them when I surround them by lots and lots of diamonds. Okay, let's find the letter G. Laurie also says, she says she had 60 colours to de-kit, and that is a ton of static. She said it's too bad she couldn't capture all that power to pay her electricity bill. Is that all that power coming out of your mouth or out of your hands trying to deal with it all? Or then again, static is power, isn't it? So maybe it wasn't what my brain first went to. She said anyway, she was about halfway through the battle when she thought to cut the bag across the top instead of a corner. She said it did help a little bit, she says, but not quite enough. She said then she added another, cutting the bags from top to bottom and then across the bottom. She said, and the diamonds released beautifully. So it seems like having that airflow helps. She said until she unintentionally clipped her finger a good one. She said there was blood all over the place. Oh no. She says, let me tell you, she says diamonds have absolutely no tolerance for blood. She said they were jumping all over the place. Ouch. She said on her hand, over the edge of the table, back into the bottle, she said just all over. She said she managed to bandage her finger, cleaned up the blood, finished de-kitting, she said, and then she promptly found the canvases and tossed them in the trash. That was your final, I've had enough, you're going. She says, enough, she says, until she hears how I do with the new ones. She says there's no hurry. She says she is so mentally damaged that it could take a year or two to recover. Ooh. Yeah, I think Dreamers Design canvases unless you end up with any of the new ones, if you have any already, are a summer project. If you want to get a dryer sheet into your diamond bags already, based on Laurie's experience, then get those dryer sheets in those bags straight away to help you before summer comes. But there is one of the Dreamer designs that I got that I'm really so excited to do. There's a few. It's very close to being as excited as Cosmic. Not quite, probably because of the problems with canvas in the past. But it's definitely one I am excited to see finished. So maybe it will get done this summer, just due to me wanting the image. We'll have to see. Depends on how quick I finish my next big ones, I suppose. She said, anyway, she said, enough complaining about my troubles. She says, just one more question. She says, what is the plan for the June WIP and Waffle? She says she's ordered all the paint gem kits. Oh, just in case you do them again. She says she wants to be prepared, you know. Is that wanting to be prepared, or is that just wanting an excuse to treat yourself? Hopefully it's the latter. She says, love to you and your family. She says, and to our family here, she says, and add more zest. She says, you bring so many smiles to my face, and that's a good thing. Oh, thank you, Laurie. Well, I hope that you have just used buying the Paint Gem minis as an excuse to buy them because you wanted to buy them anyway. The reason I say that is last year when I did do the Paint Gem minis, which I felt was the right thing to do. It was, you know, quite a new or a different way to diamond paint. Paint Gem had brought out something very different, and it still is. You know, it is still a different way to diamond paint, a different style, doing lots of mini paintings, and I actually still love doing them. There were some subscribers which, fair enough, couldn't afford to be buying the Paint Gem mini kits, and they wanted me to do a 30 by 40 so that it could be sectioned up and they could join in with me. So while it was the right thing to do last year, I feel like doing a normal 30 by 40 sort of size painting is the right thing to do for this year. Which one I'm going to do, I don't yet know. Which small painting is still a question, but I am thinking to do a smaller painting for this year and divide it up. Is my ultimate thoughts. By all means, do everybody else let me know your thoughts down below, whether you'd actually prefer it the other way, to do Paint Gem minis. It's not like I haven't got enough sets that I've not done to be able to do it, or whether you do feel as though you can take part a bit more if I did do a painting that was one painting that was completed from start to finish rather than lots of small ones. But that was my initial thought, was to do a painting, a singular painting. KS said her K-tiered took about 6 weeks to arrive. She's mid-US. Oh, so maybe 6 weeks is the time it takes for their stuff to arrive. Maybe it is just a bit slower. Jen Jams said she would love for Diamond Art Club to do a mystery painting from Hannah Lynn. Yeah, there's a few paintings of Hannah Lynn's I really like. But then there's some of them, because normally I'm not that keen on ones with people in. I mean, I say that, I think I've sort of contradicted myself. I've definitely contradicted myself with a sneak peek unboxing that's coming this week. That might have a person in it. Also, of course, Mother Earth. I absolutely love that one. And I did Vivian Fox that had a person in it. I think it very much depends on the image. It's not my automatic go-to, it's my occasional go-to. But yeah, I say, maybe I actually do like ones with people in it more than I think. Who knows? Right, I'm going to start doing some of these colours that are here now before I panic about those. Susan, she says, you can just practice with a word search. She says you can find words and letters backwards, forwards, upside down, she said, and every which way you can. She also said the trashy would be mini vest or mini zest, she says, within the Craftsmates storage. With the Craftsmates storage, she says to use a spoon to get the diamonds out. I could do that actually. Using a spoon would probably save it all falling into some of the gaps. Some of them are fine, like this letter N, it's on the end. So I've been able to tip them out from the side and it's fine. And it's just some of the ones that are really, really full. They're just a bit of a pain in the behind. Janice, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, it's Sunday, she says, while she was going mad trying to refill her containers. She says she had static. She said the air was blue. She says she's pleased that I couldn't hear her. See, that's the power I thought Laurie was talking about. But yeah, if we could seize up all that static power, we'd probably save ourselves a fortune. She says she did decide to use tweezers with the point, she says, and she put holes in the bags before opening them to move them around, she says, and she just then left them and enjoyed my chat. She said Tuesday she opened the bags and the static was less. She says she's not saying it works completely, she says, but it did help. She says maybe it will help someone else. Well, with Laurie's experience about cutting it so that there's airflow, maybe that is something that we have now come across that can help people, is to make sure there is a place for the air to escape the other side of your bag, whether you cut all the way across it or whether you just give it an air hole. A bit like if you try to tip something out of a bottle and the air's got nowhere to go, it can have a problem. Maybe it's because the static's got nowhere to go that it has a problem. I'll have to give that a go next time I have a very staticky set of diamonds, and we'll see if it works or not. But yeah, that would be interesting. Right, I think I'm going to call it quits there, because I have actually been diamond painting for quite a while, and I do have another WIP Chat I need to do this weekend, as well as all the other videos. But thank you all so much for your comments and questions. I will be back, of course, with more of them. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.